What causes a country to ban a film? The answer might surprise you. This is I Pierce the Toast. I'm Sean.
And I'm AJ. Let's make some toast.
Welcome back to I Pierce the Toast.
Ooh, or IPTT if you're feeling godly.
Godly. Oh, it's funny that you say that, AJ. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So, AJ.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I am excited. Civil War is coming out next week. And I'm excited for this film. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
I thought you were talking about just Civil War in general. I was
dear God, no.
I was
shit.
like, hold on a second. Let me stop, collaborate, and listen, because
that's true. You don't really follow the news anymore. You kind of turned off all non-movie related film news. So yeah, if there was a Civil War, I'd let you know. I'd be like, oh, by the way, start wearing a helmet. That would be a good idea. No Civil War.
Can we talk about how fucked up that announcement would be? Like, oh my God, guys, there's a Civil War next week. I'm super excited
talking about that. Especially if I'm like happy about it. Oh my gosh, guys. War is coming to our town. No, the film Civil War, which it's got Kirsten Dunst in it, which I'm excited about.
She's back?
I know. I'm all about a Kirsten Dunst resurgence. I'm big on this idea.
So is this the movie where it's like essentially states start seceding and then there's like this whole...
I don't know about the full background of it, but yeah, like there's some kind of thing that's going on that's created a rift big enough to actually create a second American Civil War.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. The movie looks really good. They're doing screenings of it in our location on Monday, but there are very few seats, and my wife wants to see it, so I think I'm going to wait and see it next week.
Next week.
That'll be something fun to watch.
I'm excited to see Abigail.
Oh, is that the horror movie?
Yeah, the vampire movie.
Oh, it's a vampire movie.
Yeah, so it looks like the premise is these people get hired to go to this house. I'm not sure exactly what they're supposed to do. But then the person that they're locked in there with is a vampire girl, like this little girl. And I fucking hated the terrifying android Megan, so this is already going to scare the shit out of me.
It's funny because we were just talking about Kirsten Dunst, and she played a little vampire.
She did play
girl.
a little vampire.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at us bringing things together.
Synergy.
Look at us let's synergize. We are synergizing. That's right. I mean a new word.
Synergizing. We do have to bring up the fact that we did lose a very big icon in the entertainment world this week.
Oh God, who did we lose?
Louis Gossett Jr.
No, he did not pass
he did.
away. Oh my God, I literally just rewatched one of my favorite films with him in it, and honestly, I couldn't even tell you what the hell it is. But it was him and who was that guy that was in ER? Little skinny nerdy dude.
Oh my God, do you forget I'm not as old as you?
How dare you, sir?
It was all Grey's Anatomy whenever I was coming up.
Wait, Louis Gossett Jr. was in Grey's Anatomy?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, you're talking about the medical drama of your era.
Yeah, it was Scrubs and fucking Grey's Anatomy.
I thought you were trying to say.
No, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, hold on. Now I have to go find the movie that he was in. Here we go. Louis Gossett Jr. Western, because it was a Western.
It was a Western?
El Diablo. That was
El Diablo.
Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought because it was such a I think it was like a made for HBO movie.
Was it really?
I think so. Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but
what's the name of the lead in that one?
Louis Gossett Jr. and then Anthony Edwards was the guy.
Okay,
yeah,
Anthony
he's the
Edwards.
nerdy guy from ER.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that movie. I think my favorite part is the music. The tung 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 tung. And Louis Gossett Jr. and Anthony Edwards are facing down with El Diablo, and he thinks that Louis Gossett Jr. is dead, so he's about to kill, or he thinks Anthony Edwards is dead, so he's about to kill Louis Gossett Jr., right? And first he shoots him in the heart, but then, he accidentally had hit Louis Gossett Jr.'s lighter or something. And at the very beginning of the movie, Louis Gossett Jr. had shot a guy in the back, and Anthony Edwards was like, you shot him in the back. And Louis Gossett Jr. was like, well, his back was to me. like it was totally fine. His back was to me. What else was I supposed to shoot? So at the end of the movie, El Diablo is just like he's bearing down on Louis Gossett Jr. He's about to fucking shoot him, and then all of a sudden you hear a gunshot go off, and El Diablo kind of like perks up, like, oh God, what the hell just happened? And it's Anthony Edwards behind him. He just shot him in the back. And it's funny because Louis Gossett Jr. goes, you shot him in the back. And he goes, well, his back was to me. It's just such a fun film. Oh my God, I loved it. Yeah.
He's had a very storied career. My favorite would probably be Officer and a Gentleman. I mean, that's the big one.
Yeah, watching him yell at Richard Gere, that's always nice.
Yeah, but my mom had actually reached out to me. She's like, "Oh my God," and I was like, "No, this is fake. No, he actually did pass away."
I can't believe this didn't come across my news feed. Like,
cause stay out of the news you've been looking at.
Well, no, I told you I only read that one email now. I've been trying to be better about it, but usually I get like a BBC alert whenever there, a famous actor passes. But yeah, nothing for Louis Gossett Jr., which is bullcrap because, God, he's been in everything.
He's been a Titan, Christ. So he will be sorely missed.
Absolutely. Well, AJ, as you know, I set out for this episode to create a narrative based on actors who have played God in film.
Ooh.
Yes. But that is not exactly how things panned out.
Okay.
I started out this week looking into the long history of actors taking on the role of the almighty creator in film. From Rex Ingram's portrayal in 1936's The Green Pastures to Steve Buscemi's incompetent interpretation in the 2019 series Miracle Workers, the list of stars who have taken on the role of the big guy upstairs is long and distinguished, including Morgan Freeman, Rob Benedict, Octavia Spencer, George Burns, and Charlton Heston, just to name a few. We've even covered one example, Alanis Morissette, on this show when you discussed the 1999 classic Dogma.
Ooh, that's ironic.
You fuck. You fucking suck. I fucking love you so much. And it was actually that film in mind that made me want to dive deep into the topic of playing the prognosticator of prognosticators on film.
Prognosticator?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I quoted Groundhog Day. Yeah,
okay.
That just happened. Yeah. When we discussed Dogma, you mentioned the hilarious troll Kevin Smith committed against Catholics who came out to protest his film by joining their demonstration and pretending to not be Kevin Smith, even going so far as to be interviewed by a local news station. I wanted to find something story-worthy about stepping into the shoes of Adonai amongst the countless performers who've dared to slip on the gloves of the omnipotent. And do you know what I found?
Nothing.
A big fat nothing burger. The simple act of playing God in film simply doesn't seem to ruffle any feathers. Whether you're playing God as funny, inspirational, ethereal, vengeful, quirky, wise, or even selfish, having a film that depicts the creator just isn't that controversial.
No, it's talking about the fucking church. That's what's controversial.
You're not wrong. You're not far off. In Dogma, the complaint was the same as it was for Monty Python's Life of Brian or The Last Temptation of Christ with Willem Dafoe. The films were deemed sacrilegious by different members of the Christian community who found the departures or interpretations of the biblical narrative objectionable, not the act of portraying individuals who appear in the religious text. And if I wanted to delve into the question of why certain religious films are found objectionable, there's an entire encyclopedia worth of examples available, including one of your guilty pleasures, Battlefield Earth.
Oh, I love that movie. That's such a good one.
Oh, God.
It's such shit, but I love it.
Oh, God, such shit. Well, that film was lauded by many as Scientology propaganda.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I don't really find the objections of the ultra-dogmatic particularly compelling. Whether we're talking about Angulimala depicting Buddha, Innocence of Muslims depicting the Prophet Muhammad, or Darren Aronofsky's Noah starring Russell Crowe for a multitude of reasons, which I assume had to include just being a god-awful film.
It is
so bad. So bad.
It's on par with, was it Gods in Egypt? Or
Yeah, that's right up there. Right the fuck up there. Upsetting communities whose entire existence is based on the strict but varying interpretations of one religious text or another doesn't seem like a particularly difficult undertaking. Which is why it was so surprising to find out that playing God in film didn't automatically incur the wrath of the devout. But the question of controversy did intrigue me. So I decided to zoom out. I asked myself, what is the most controversial film ever made?
Oh, I thought we were just talking about religion on this one. So if you're talking about most controversial movie in
controversial
general.
film ever made.
Oh, Hold on. We'd have to... That's a big one.
It is a big one.
Give me a hint on the year.
I can't. You know why?
You son of a bitch.
No. That's not because I'm not going to tell you. Not because I'm trying to hold it from you. It's not that. I had a feeling this might be a difficult question to answer, but I assumed foolishly I'd be able to come up with one unifying answer. But the immediate problem I ran into is there is no consistent metric of controversy.
That is true.
You can't measure controversy by how well or how poorly a film does. Films do well or poorly for a multitude of reasons, and some films do better because of controversy, like in 2014's The Interview, which should have been a complete flop, but due to the controversy of the anger it caused in North Korea, it became one of Sony's most successful digital releases of all time.
I love that movie. I'm not gonna lie. The whole, what is it, Katy Perry scene? But you're a firework.
That is a great scene. But that film, it probably would have just completely flew under the radar, been a little feather in the cap of fans of Seth Rogen, but because the North Korean dictator got so pissed off about it and even tried to launch an attack against it, it gave that film a star status that it never would have gotten on its own.
I will say that whenever there is controversy surrounding any movie, we have to see. I mean, we were victims of this recently. We fell right into the hands of what they were trying to accomplish. Madam Web. There was so much controversy around this movie. We were like, we gotta fucking see this. We gotta be in there.
Exactly. You also can't measure controversy by how much reaction you get in the form of reviews or protests. Protests for a film occur for a multitude of reasons, and it doesn't necessarily suggest the protest is warranted or suggest a level of controversy, like in the case of Dogma. 2008's Tropic Thunder was protested for its depiction of mental disability, which is arguably not even the worst offense committed by the film.
Yeah, nah.
But the film was still praised by reviewers for its comedic satirical look at Hollywood. And you can't really measure controversy by whether it's been banned. Middle Eastern countries will ban just about anything that doesn't conform to a strict set of religious adherences within Islam. Southeast Asian countries will do the same for anything perceptibly harmful to Christianity. Countries with monarchies, like Thailand, will ban anything that speaks ill of the crown. And China will ban anything it thinks might spark concern or doubt of the ruling government.
Russia will ban things that they find indecent, from what I understand, too.
Oh, that's definitely one. Definitely one. Interestingly enough, that didn't hit this list.
Really?
Oh, no. Kraken.
And by indecent, it usually means gay, essentially.
Oh, that we will talk about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that we will definitely talk about. And this is where I found my question. While the banning of a film may not be the ultimate measure of how controversial a film is, as I looked further, I found the very notion of the banning of a film fascinating. What gets a film banned? Where do certain films get banned? What are the social and political factors that surround the banning of films? How long do the bans last? Some of these make a lot of sense, but some of them are going to be really surprising. And AJ, we're going to see how well you can think like the censors of some of these, because they are just off the wall nutty.
Son of a bitch. I just took a 2-hour test yesterday. You son of a bitch.
Oh, you're going to love this test.
I didn't even get to study for this one.
This is a fun test.
Okay.
This is like the test when you're a kid and they're like, tell me, imagine a meadow and tell me what's in the meadow. It's all about you, AJ. It's just about what you want to think about.
The meadow?
Sure, you can be in a meadow.
Kids are fucking terrifying. You know what they... No, I don't want to know what they fucking think is in a meadow. I watched a video of a little girl yesterday that was like standing on her mom's grave and was like, bye-bye, and then like reached up and gave whatever a kiss. Like, yeah.
See, I'm going to have to edit that part out just because if I have to hear it again in a dark room while I'm editing, I might cry. So that's thanks for the nightmares, AJ. So I thought I'd start with one that we already mentioned. Martin Scorsese's The Last Temptation of Christ from 1988, starring Willem Dafoe as the J-Man himself. The film depicts the life of Jesus Christ and his struggle with various forms of temptation, including fear, doubt, depression, reluctance, and lust.
Yeah.
Which is what got this film in hot water.
Yeah, he got down in that movie.
Within the film and the book it originated from, Jesus is tempted by imagining himself engaged in sexual activities. and that association of Christ with sex did not sit well with Christians abroad. Even as recently as December of last year, the film remains outlawed in the Philippines and Singapore, where Netflix had to remove the film from its library.
Like, I've only seen this movie, I think, 2 different times. If I'm not mistaken, this is whenever he is in the garden, but the night before he's going to get crucified.
I think so.
And he's being tempted by Satan.
I've never actually
correct?
seen this film. This is all just from research.
I'm pretty sure that I'm not, I can't remember where he actually is whenever he's being tempted, but essentially it's just him going through his life as if he didn't get crucified. And it's very interesting.
I did see a couple of screen grabs, and apparently there's quite a bit of Willem Dafoe butt. So if you're into Willem Dafoe butt, then this is... And it's young Willem Dafoe butt, too. This is not like current modern-day Willem Dafoe butt. This is like young, like ripped Willem Dafoe butt. So, you know, if that's your thing, you know, this film is for you.
Yeah, it's Thirst Trap Jesus.
Thirst Trap Jesus. Fuck. One that won't surprise our United States listeners is 1915's The Birth of a Nation. The plot chronicles the assassination of Abraham Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth and the relationship of 2 families in the Civil War and Reconstruction eras over the course of several years, the pro-Union Stonemans and the pro-Confederacy Camerons. Even when the film was released, it sparked protest and condemnation for its racist depiction of black Americans and glorification of the KKK. It was denied release in cities like Chicago, Denver, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, but was ultimately a huge success due to its popularity in the South and considered the driving factor behind the rebirth of the KKK. Today, the film is considered a technical marvel of its time and has been preserved in the Library of Congress for its cultural significance, though, thankfully, the film's message has not resonated a century later.
Thank fucking God.
Another film from early in the century that sparked controversy was 1932's Freaks by Todd Browning.
Freaks, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The film casted actual sideshow performers with physical disabilities, such as Johnny Eck, who had no lower body, Prince Randian, who had no arms or legs, a little person actor named Harry Earls, or Schlitzie, an actor with microcephaly, a condition that causes a smaller than normal head.
I can't remember. Is Freaks the Gooble Gobble Gooble Gobble?
That's the one. Oh, yeah. One of us. Yeah. Oh, God, the ending is so creepy.
Fucking creepy.
It's such a creepy movie. The reasons for the film being banned were multiple, but the most obvious was in the UK, where the film was banned from 1932 until 1963.
Oh, wow. That's pretty recent.
It was banned for alarming content and displaying humans with physical disabilities. In other cases, the film was seen as exploitative of sideshow performers and reinforced negative views of people with disabilities. As with Birth of a Nation, Freaks was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress, which just seems to show how important it became to recognize the cultural importance of the mistakes of our past.
There's a recurring theme with this. It's, hey, if you fuck up by making a movie that is too racist or too problematic, you're going to get preserved.
Yeah, kinda. Like it's interesting what the Library of Congress will preserve, but I mean, it does really seem to have this kind of pattern of we don't want to completely destroy or forget films that caused controversy because we almost need to remember why this happened. And there is an importance there, and I won't argue it. I won't suggest that this should be erased because it shouldn't. These types of films were easy to see why they were banned, but some films I found on the ban list were there for reasons that forced me to dig a little deeper into history. Films like, and I shit you not, 2023's smash hit, Barbie.
Oh, I know this.
What do you got?
It has to do with the way that Barbie drew her map. Depicted, what was it? I forget. There's a certain line that she drew, and apparently that caused a lot of controversy.
The 9-dash line.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, American education system, because I had never heard of this before looking this up.
I remember looking at this after looking into the movie and being like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
I watched a whole video on it.
So for our viewers, the 9-dash line is a U-shaped line that appears on maps drawn by the Republic of China that encompasses an area in the South China Sea, of which China claims ownership. That area includes sea and islands that Vietnam contests as belonging to Vietnam. As AJ mentioned, in one small portion of the film, when Barbie is visiting Weird Barbie about some of the anomalies she's been noticing in the Barbie world, there is a crudely drawn map in the background, which includes this controversial 9 line. Because of that inclusion in the map, the film is banned in Vietnam.
It's because I think Vietnam doesn't recognize something there as it being like owned by China, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
The 9 line encompasses area that Vietnam suggests they have claim to. And so the very existence of the 9 line, it's very controversial in Vietnam, and they do not recognize recognize the 9 line.
I just want to know who was watching this. It was like, hey, this fucking line is in there.
Well, apparently, some people have even suggested this is Hollywood bowing to China. Like, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's like a conspiracy theory or what, because I didn't read into it since this was not an episode of conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. But there has been suggestion that Hollywood does this kind of often, where they kind of put things in to appease China because the sales will be high there. Yeah, I know.
If that's really a conspiracy theory.
It's
theory,
hard,
or if that's just fucking true, because
right?
They do have. How much of the world's population lives in China? Is it like 3% or something like that?
Something like that. Something big.
Yeah.
While it might seem petty to some, I could accept a stance of national pride and territorial ownership as motivation for taking issue with a film, even with it being such a small portion of the film's background. But this next one, I will definitely say, is categorically ridiculous. AJ, did you happen to catch the 2022 film Minions: The Rise of Gru?
No, because I'm not on the bandwagon of Despicable Me. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a fun film. I don't really give a fuck about these Minions, I'm not gonna lie.
The government of Lebanon did happen to catch it, and they were not happy about the film. Why do you think Lebanon took issue with the film?
Well, I'm just saying, Lebanon also banned Barbie because of trans things, so I'm assuming...
And they ban things like that all the time for, like, you know, trans, gay, like anything like that, Lebanon's going to ban.
Shows deviancy.
Yeah, deviancy. But not what got this film banned in Lebanon.
Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a stretch.
Hit me.
I'm going to go and say that the color yellow was offensive to their eyes, so they banned it.
No.
Okay, I've no shot in the dark.
But you know what? Hold on to that thought for later.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Swear to God.
Oh my God.
Just hold on to exactly what you just said for later in the show. Well, Lucy Lawless of Xena and Parks of Rec fame joined the Minions ensemble as a character known as Nunchucks. Literally a nun who wields nunchucks.
Oh.
And apparently, a nun being a bad guy in a movie was all it took for Lebanon. There were also some reports of a same-sex kiss in the movie, but I don't remember that, and when I try to look it up, the only thing that comes up is Lightyear. And Lightyear is also on the ban list for that very reason.
Jesus Christ.
You might remember the 2022 film ran into some trouble here in the States among the ultra-conservative with having a scene depicting a kiss between 2 women characters. While it got some pundits' panties in a twist here in the States, that one scene got the film banned in 14 different countries.
Jeez,
including Saudi Arabia and the UAE.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does. In most cases, the on-screen smooch violated faith acts or sexual acts contrary to the order of nature. I can spend an entire episode on the hilarious hypocrisy of that statement, but the unfortunate fact is Buzz Lightyear's Infinity and Beyond journey was cut short in countries with a strong aversion to the fabulously oriented. This was the same fate for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and 2021's The Eternals, which also included same-sex couplings.
What was the same sex in?
In which one?
In WandaVision, or not WandaVision, but the...
I'm not sure, but, you know, it's... In a weird way, thankfully, it's become so normalized here that if it happens in a movie, I don't even notice it.
I don't notice it at all.
Which is great. Like, oh, yeah. It's like, that's the way it should be. It should just be there's this couple on screen. And you have to think about it and go, oh, right, they were a gay couple, I guess. That's fine.
The only time I ever notice it is whenever they seem to, like, be pushing it. And you can tell when they're trying to do that.
See, I only notice it if another character takes issue with it. Then it's like, you know, if another character is like, you know, and has to, you know, be that person, then it's like, oh, right, I guess this is controversial to some people in certain circles.
I think it's only whenever you can tell that for some whatever reason, I don't know, it seems like more modern adaptations of like Star Wars things and different things like that, they do add characters in there specifically for that. I'm like, don't pander, just normalize it. Just make it a thing. Like, to me, that's just what it is. But you can tell that they're putting emphasis on it to be like, hey, we're with you, which sometimes is really great, but other times it's
kind
like
of virtue signaling as,
Yeah,
opposed
virtuous-
to, as opposed to just understanding that these people exist, so including them as characters is fine. You don't have to make a thing of it.
Yeah, like one of the best things that I saw recently was it's an ad for, I think it was vacations for honeymoons, because, you know, me and my fiance are getting married. And one of the ads was really great. It was just couples, all types of couples. It was just a really nice thing. It was like, you know, you had a gay couple here, you had like a mixed couple here. It was just a really lovely thing. There was no emphasis. It was just like, these are couples. That's what I like. Just
You are definitely the guy that would have cried at the 1990s AT&T commercials. That is you.
What do you mean?
I was wondering if you were going to get that reference, and it's okay that you didn't, but there were these really moving commercials that AT&T did, like in the 1990s, and they joked. You do know this. It was in Dumb and Dumber. They joked about it.
Oh,
where they were watching the commercials, like, you know, phoning home, and they're sitting there crying.
Yeah, I know
like
what
they
you're
were
talking
watching like a
about.
really great film, but it was just the AT&T commercial.
Yeah,
it was kind of
okay.
a trope back then. But yeah, that would
I
have.
would have fucking cried.
Oh,
I'm a sap.
I would have too. We would have been there crying. It would have been you and me. It would have been Lloyd and Harry, you and me, just sitting there crying.
I just don't like forced relationships. I guess I know this is off topic, but I hate whenever it's like a movie where it's like these people have to get together. It's like, I don't fucking care. Just chop her head off. I don't know.
Jesus, Henry VIII, fuck my life.
I've been on a horror kick. I'm sorry.
Good God, no more television for you. Now, generally speaking, I don't agree with banning really in any case, but if I were to ban a film, this next one would probably be on my list, though not for the same reasons the film found itself at odds with certain censors in certain nations.
Lost Highway.
No. 2015's 50 Shades of Grey,
Oh my god.
as I'm sure you can guess, is banned in Indonesia, Cambodia, UAE, India, and quite a few other countries. The film is viewed by more conservative and religious nations as essentially being pornography. I don't agree with that designation, but the banning of the film is probably doing a service to people of those nations for not having to be subjected to the awfulness that is 50 Shades of Grey.
It does not show BDSM in the correct light in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, so your objection is that it's actually putting a negative view of
Yes.
of certain sexual proclivities.
100%.
Interesting. All right.
It's whatever your kink is. We don't kink shame here, but for Hollywood to put this on screen and not do it justice is beyond me. There's certain nuances when it comes to a BDSM relationship, and this just was not depicted the way it should have been. I refuse to watch any of the sequels.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. Honestly, I don't think I even could make it all the way through the original film. I tried, but I was like, this is so bad.
Yeah.
Not even just, like, I don't think I even got to the part where, you know, I could have made an argument about the poor depiction of BDSM. I thought the film was just so fucking bad. I was like, I can't watch this. This is garbage. Who would be into this?
Well, you know how the film got... Sorry, I'm just going to get off topic again for a second. You know how this, all came to be, right?
Wasn't it Twilight fan fiction?
Yeah, it was like a fan fiction, yeah. So it's like, again, Twilight is pretty awful. Like, at least the movies are pretty bad. The movies are pretty bad, and if you're just going by that, and you're... Actually, the books are kind of bad, too. Neither here nor there. If you're making a fan fiction of something that's not that good, you're going to make something that's even less good.
So what you're saying is, when you make a copy of a copy...
Yes.
Multiplicity.
If you remake Lost Highway, it is going to be a shit movie regardless.
Well, let's get back to the fun ones, AJ. In 2001, the greatest male model of all time graced the silver screen. I'm of course referring to Zoolander.
Oh.
This one is kind of obvious, but why do you think Zoolander got banned?
Was it the... I don't know. Kind of obvious?
It's kind of obvious, yeah.
I don't know.
It was banned in Malaysia because it depicts an assassination attempt of the Prime Minister, as well as the offensive portrayal of Malaysia as a nation impoverished and dependent on sweatshops.
I didn't even think about that. I was like, what the fuck could have happened?
Yeah,
And I was like,
it's like when you hear it, it's like, oh, I guess that is kind of obvious. Yeah.
Okay.
To ease the tension, there are versions in Asia released that replace all references to Malaysia with the sub-region Micronesia. So if you're getting your blue steel fix in certain regions of the East, you might likely see a completely different film.
That's fucking great.
I've saved for last what is, in my opinion, the strangest one of all. In 2007, a film was released that depicted the struggle of a family to save their town from destruction by an overreaching government agency. The town was Springfield. The family was the Simpsons.
Yeah.
The agency, the Environmental Protection Agency. AJ, why was this film banned?
Is it obvious?
No. It
Is
is
it
so
stupid?
fucking it is so fucking weird. It is a weird reason to ban a film.
I'm assuming because there's a lot of people that are in this. Is it because a certain person is in this movie?
I have a great example of that for a little bit later, but no, it's not that.
Then I don't know.
I figured it had to have something to do with the negative portrayal of the EPA. Like maybe it got banned, like, you know, maybe not in like the United States, but countries that were a little more progressive or something. But no, this one is so fucking weird. The nation of Burma, or Myanmar as they refer to themselves, has a very rocky history over the last half century, including a democratically elected leader, a military coup, and the long-term house imprisonment of that democratically elected leader for 15 of 21 years. In 2007, the military junta of the time was dealing with a rebel group led by that ousted leader, Aung San Suu Kyi. The group was called the National League of Democracy. The official flag of the pro-democracy party is a red flag with a white star and a yellow peacock. And for this reason, and this reason only, the military junta banned the Simpsons movie. Because the characters of Yellow and the overall color scheme of The Simpsons is red and yellow, the film was viewed as having the potential to garner sympathies for the pro-democracy movement.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Swear to God.
So that's where that yellow came in.
That's what that when you said, like, because the minions were yellow, I was like, believe it or not, that's actually going to play out.
Jesus. Bold move, Cotton.
Right? See how it works out for it. This is the weirdest fucking one, and I fucking loved it. But there are some more weird ones that are going to be honorable mentions, and AJ, it's time for the lightning round.
Okay, lightning round. Okay. I'm ready. I drank my, I'm diminishing my amount of caffeine that I drank, so I'm drinking a non-caffeinated drink today, but I'm ready.
All right. This is a very short list of the films banned in various countries for various reasons, but I wanted to include some of the hilarious notable mentions here, and we're going to see if AJ can guess the reason, and if AJ's guess is more or less ridiculous than the actual reason. AJ, E.T. was banned in Sweden, Finland, and Norway. Why?
Something about space?
No.
Oh.
I would say that would be less ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
It portrayed adults as heartless, arguing that the movie might cause kids to think it's acceptable to disobey their elders.
Shit. Watch TikTok. I swear you'll see some shit.
Right. Winnie the Pooh is banned in China.
Is it Eeyore?
It's not Eeyore. That's a good guess, though, because Eeyore is kind
Like
of represents
depression and all that.
Well,
yeah.
he kind of like if you read the Tao of Pooh, I think Eeyore is supposed to represent like Christianity and all like the guilt.
Oh,
something
okay.
like Catholicism, but no, it's not Eeyore.
Piglet?
It's not Piglet. It's Pooh. I'll tell you right now, it's Winnie the Pooh.
Why?
They got it banned. No guesses?
What do you do? Hold
No
on.
Okay.
Does it have to do with his stoutness exercises? I don't know.
No.
Gluttony?
Nope.
I have to fucking know.
Winnie the Pooh is considered a symbol of political dissonance in China because the lovable bear shares a physical resemblance to the Chinese president Xi Jinping. So political opponents have been using him as a way to criticize the president.
Fucking Winnie the Pooh was...
There's actually a whole episode of John Oliver's Last Week Tonight where he talks about the fact that Xi Jinping fucking hates Winnie the Pooh because people have compared him to Winnie the Pooh.
Jesus Christ. Well...
Here we go. All right. 2016's Ghostbusters with the all-female cast is banned in China.
I don't know why.
This one's kind of interesting, actually. Apparently, in China, they don't like things that promote cult or superstition. So the reboot was banned there because it allegedly promoted cults or superstitions because of ghosts.
What about the new one?
I'm sure it's probably banned there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I could see that, but
Back to the Future is banned in China.
the first one?
Yes. Actually, I assume all of them, but specifically we'll talk about the original Back to the Future.
I'm assuming it has to go with him going back to the future, something whenever he's in the past.
Well, actually, it's just time travel in general.
Oh.
So
What?
China has bans on fantasy, time travel, random compilations of mythical stories, bizarre plots, absurd techniques, even propagating feudal superstitions, fatalism and reincarnation, ambiguous moral lessons, and even a lack of positive thinking. So Back to the Future is banned for depicting characters changing the past, because the thought process in China is the Chinese government is glorious, and it's the great communist revolution and all that. So changing the past would be unnecessary and a ridiculous undertaking. So the film is banned.
This makes me more mad at Jackie Chan.
Why are you mad at Jackie Chan?
Because he recently, well, I'm going to say in the past couple of years, he's been promoting the Communist Party in China. Like, he actually joined.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and now I'm like, oh my God, you can't even fucking have your movies there, man.
Wait, you're saying he's not Singaporean?
wait. What about your passport?
I'm glad you caught that. Just in case any of our viewers are unaware, that is from Tom Cotton on Capitol Hill grilling the president of TikTok, constantly asking him questions about his involvement with the Chinese party, and the poor bastard from TikTok just keeps going, Senator, I'm Singaporean. Please,
like,
no, I'm not from China.
Do you have a Chinese passport?
No, Senator, I'm Singaporean.
Affiliations with the Chinese party? No,
Senator,
I'm Singaporean.
Senator, again, I'm Singaporean. Jesus, like he just couldn't get it through his thick fucking skull. Oh my God, that was great.
It's like you keep asking the same fucking question. He's gonna keep giving you the same answer.
Now, this one is kind of obvious, maybe not, but Sausage Party is banned in Taiwan, and this one kind of makes sense.
I would have understood it more if it was banned in like the UAE or like Saudi Arabian states.
It might be, but the reason why it's banned is why this made the list in Taiwan.
Why?
They were afraid parents would accidentally take their kids to see it. That was it. They were just they were so.
I'm not mad about that.
Right?
One,
it's like, okay, I mean, because in America, obviously, we can see the previews. We know who the director is. Like, there's plenty of ways to discern that this is not a film for children.
I call bullshit. Do you remember when Deadpool came out and all these fucking parents took their kids to go see Deadpool?
Because they kept saying it was a family film,
and he literally said in the thing, like, do not take your kids to see this movie. It is a rated R movie. Oh no, we're gonna go see that Deadpool.
Now here's a fun one. The apocalyptic film 2012 was banned in North Korea.
Does it have to do with the aliens, I'm assuming?
No, because 2012 didn't have aliens, did it?
I thought 2012 did have aliens.
I thought...
Or am I thinking of another one?
I'm not sure. I thought 2012 was just like the world ended because the whole Mayan calendar thing.
I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking of the last fucking Mimsy. I don't know how the fuck I got there.
I don't know how you got there either.
So, no, 2012, yeah, that's whenever they build the ark at the end.
Oh, I'm not sure. I've never watched it.
Yeah, I don't know how.
The film's date coincided with the 100th anniversary of former leader Kim Il-sung's birthday.
So you ban a movie because it comes out on your birthday?
Well, former
because
leader. Yeah. So the way North Korea works is, you have new leaders, right?
Yeah.
Like I think the current one is Kim Jong-un, right?
Yeah, Kim Jong-un.
But he's not technically the president, which is an interesting idea in North Korea.
No, he's the supreme
leader, commander, or something like that. Yeah.
Leader, something like that.
The actual president is Kim Il-sung.
Yeah,
because Kim Il-sung, quote unquote, never died. Because
when
he passed, and they told the nation that he passed, people were distraught. They were, they were inconsolable. So they just kind of came up with this idea of, oh no, he never dies, and he'll always be the president. So any of his progeny, so when his son took over and his son's son took over, it was never they were becoming the president. They were just becoming the supreme commander, supreme leader, whatever it is, because Kim Il-sung is still technically the president.
Which is some bullshit, because it's like,
you literally, weird, right?
You literally just said, oh, Because the emperor never died.
So, and this is why whenever people are like, well, North Korea is an atheist nation, like, no, it's not. It has a religion.
Yeah.
It has, like, they literally believe a guy who has been dead for, what, almost a century now? Something crazy like that? Close to a century? They believe a dead guy is still ethereal and ruling over them as the president. If that's not a religion, I don't know what the fuck is. So, obviously, it's clear that a lot of films are banned in China for whatever reason, be it, cultural, artistic, violence, or having a character with too much resemblance to the president's poo-like face. Anything with gay characters is going to immediately be avoided by the majority of deeply religious nations. And Gal Gadot is apparently completely persona non grata in Lebanon. Apparently her service in the Israeli army doesn't sit well, so Wonder Woman will not be gracing the sands of Beirut anytime soon.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much anytime she does a movie, Lebanon bans it.
Like, nope.
Yep. So when you were talking earlier about, because this certain person's in it, yeah, that does happen, and it's Gal Gadot. Yeah, they don't like her there.
I do. She's so good. I love her accent.
I know, it's great, isn't it? Yeah. But to bring this back to seriousness, I thought it would take depictions of God herself to create the kind of dissonance necessary to enrage the sensibilities. But I truly underestimated just how powerful film is. All it takes is the existence of a certain kind of love, a level of violence, the mention of sex, the acknowledgement that a group of people are worthy of humanity, the placement of a map, or even just the color of a cartoon character's skin, to take a film from a simple work of art to a threat to national security. Even this very episode, simply discussing the existence of these films and their bans in certain nations, is going to put it in the crosshairs of a lot of countries' censorship laws.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
I love film for the many ways it can inspire, entertain, and engage. But knowing that the medium of cinema's reflection of reality can bring a nation to its knees has given me a newfound respect for this thing we call show.
Shut up.
I know, that's sappy as fuck. Oh, well, thank you for coming on this little journey with me, AJ.
This has been a fun journey. I've learned a lot about banning and why things are just like, hey, you put a computer in your movie, you're banned.
You put a computer in your movie, banned.
People have enough to eat, you're banned.
People have enough to eat. Banned. What color is that cartoon? Fuck you, ban.
Yeah, fuck you, ban. Hey. That's eggshell white. Banned.
That'd be the most bougie nation ever. That's eggshell white, and we don't allow that here. How dare you? Well, our music is created by Augusto Denise, logo by Design World, social media by the future Mrs. Name Redacted due to the censors, and mixing and editing by IPTT Studios.
And we want to hear from you in your own slice of toast. Tell us about the films you think we and others should see, actors to showcase, or topics to discuss. You can reach us on Instagram at IPTT_podcast, the same for our TikTok. Email us directly at ipttpodcast@gmail.com or interact with us directly through the Spotify app.
And if you ever find yourself creating a wonderful piece of art that really shouldn't piss anybody off, only to get banned because the color of The Simpsons is yellow, remember,
you can always get more toast.
Thanks for listening.